Hello, this is Paul Jones, and I am here to show you another thing about how to work with my computer. But more specifically, right now, I am going to be talking more about your maintenance to your hard drive. Uh, I am giving classes at the First Church of the Brethren in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have 12 different classes. And once you complete all 12 classes, you're presented with a certificate. There is a small test for you to take so that we can see how well you developed from when you first entered the class with no experience whatsoever and to what you understand concerning your computer today. In addition to this, we also offer you a free computer after 10 different lessons. That means that you can always skip a class if it is necessary for whatever the reason may be, but to continue on with the class and be able to earn a computer. The greatest advantage to learning how to use it means that the computer will not only go home and sit in the corner, but it'll actually be a practical machine that gets used on a daily basis. Now, like I already said, I am looking to give you some information how to maintain your hard drive. It is necessary to provide some kind of maintenance that you're going to be able to get long usage out of this drive and be able to store and retrieve information without any problems. Now, to do this, I want to return to what I have on my display here for my computer in this machine that I have on display. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the C drive, which is our primary drive, and be able to do certain maintenance on it. And to do this, you're going to right click on the icon of drive C. As we go to the bottom, we notice that there is an item called Properties. With a left click of the mouse, you'll go into Properties and be able to realize that a pie chart will come up. In this pie chart, there is on my display a blue section there, which is not quite a quarter full, but the largest part is free space, or is pink in color. This could be different colors as we go to different settings from one computer to another, but as far as I've seen with Windows 7 and with the Windows 8, this has been very consistent. If you're a numbers person, the numbers are also provided above this pie chart. And keep in mind, the computer needs a certain amount of room to be able to write temporary files. These temporary files make it easy to provide for your computer to run smoothly. Very often I get people who are asking me why their computers are running so slow. It could be because none of these temporary files have been wiped out. And when there's an overabundance of temporary files, it will tend to slow down the computer. Now we go to the top part here. We're going to see that we can name this drive anything we want it to be. Just to throw in an extra comment, when I get a flash drive, it could be by SanDisk or a selection of different manufacturers. But in here, I will put my screen name on here, which is WinUSA. I'll also provide a number, so it's a different number for each drive that I have. This flash drive can be usable for taking information from one computer to the other and be able to use it with the appropriate programs. If you're loading some pictures on here, it is easy to plug it in to a number of devices as well as on another computer to be able to see the pictures that you want to show to others. Now, with this in mind, we're going to realize that there is also a place where we can uh, clean up our disk. Now, when we press this button to clean up the disk, we're going to realize that it will cause us to be able to wipe out a lot of temporary files and also be able to make more room on our drive. Overall, it'll help our computer to work much faster. Just to complete this window, I want to talk to you about compressing the drive to save disk space. I remember when this feature came out in the early days. It was before Windows. It was with DOS. Now, Microsoft makes not only Windows but also DOS, MS-DOS, PC-DOS, and a variety of them for different contracts. So Microsoft has a big handle. When Bill Gates and Steve Jobs got in their garage, they came up with an operating system which became the basis of how a computer will operate. Now, to compress this drive, it means that it's going to take out unneeded space on your data, and when you go to open it, it'll replace that space. Repeated data is often compressed with it as well. There are several different schemes of how compression takes place, and what will happen is when it's done automatically, it will take that scheme of compression automatically that is appropriate for each file. Thus, you're able to save some extra space on your drive and get more use out of it. Now, also allowing index service to index the disk for fast file searching, you can look at things as if you have a pile of papers on your desk and they were randomly stacked, possibly in the order that you received them, why it becomes very difficult to find specific papers if they are in random order like that. However, if they are placed into an index or put in alphabetical order, it becomes a very easy and quick search. This too will speed up your computer. However, it'll take a little bit longer for your computer to boot up. Now, one thing I want you to realize in Tools, we have different tabs going across the top. And to get to Tools, you'll use the left button of your mouse and click on the word Tools. And when you get there, you'll be able to see that now we have several different options there, 3 in total. Error checking means that it's going to look for errors or glitches on your drive where if any information were to be stored there, it will cause damage to your file. At that point, your file might be corrupted and unusable. So this is very important to run from time to time. One thing that has been resentful with many people, if they do this, they might have a problem when they start up their machine a second time, which it'll go into completing this process of checking for errors on a 4-level process. Very often, according to the size of your disk, this might take several hours to accomplish. And for this reason, many people choose not to do this. But it is a necessary thing to do from time to time. You might want this to happen when you know that this is going to take place to allow your machine to work overnight while you're sleeping. So with that in mind, you'll be able to store your files in a safe place and be assured that your data is going to be retrieved with no problems. Now, where we have defragmentation is where files are stored on many different spots on the disk. It might be as many as 80 to 100 or even more packets. And these packets are how data is stored. It helps make the computer store data much more efficiently than if it was all one file put together as a single file. However, when you open the file, all these packets are put into order and it comes up on your screen as a single file. However, when these packets are put close together, of course the machine will work much faster when it goes to open that file. And this is the advantage of defragmentation of your disk, that it will be able to open files that much quicker. Next, I'd like to talk to you this option about backing up your files. Your files should be backed up on a regular basis. It all depends upon how much space or how much work you do on your computer. In a business sense, they will back up their data every night. However, when working in a big corporation and they're using a mini computer or a mainframe, either one, they will have the process going on all day, 24 hours a day. Backing up data is very important. If your machine goes down, or if you find it necessary to have a different machine altogether, the restoration of your personal data becomes important. So with that, these three utilities are very useful. Now I want to talk to you about Explorer. No, I am not talking about Explorer. Explorer is the web browser that is used to make sense of the data that is received from the web to your computer, and it displays it in a fashion that you're able to understand and enjoy on the screen. But this is Explorer. Explorer is a system of way of looking for files on your computer, going very quickly from one directory to another. We have a hard drive such as C, and in different sections of that drive it is divided up into several different folders. It's just like a file cabinet. When you open the drawer, you have one hard drive, and inside you have many folders. The papers inside are organized. Each paper is a file. So we are able to find what we're looking for very quickly because things are organized. And when you get into your computer, you need to get into the habit of organization. This way you're going to be able to find the files that you're looking for very quickly. Now with this, we look at the tree of how things are stored on your computer. There are different elements going down the line. And as you can see, that I have a large number of listings under what is called local disk C. Now, with that, you're also on the tree, you're going to have access to your floppy drive and other drives, or CD drive, or anything else that is on the drive. Take notice that there are, for example, I'm pointing now to the Start menu, and in the Start menu I can see a folder that has programs in it. Now, take notice that on the left it is the tree, or the outline of how things are stored on your computer. And when you highlight the Start menu, in this case, it presents on the right, which is a much larger section of this window, that the Programs folder is displayed. If there are any files there to be seen, they would be displayed along with this same folder. So this is basically the breakdown of how things are stored on your computer, and be able to know how to find things when you want to. By the end of this selection, I'm going to take you into an exercise of looking at some of the files that can be found on your computer, and then you can relate to how we are going to be able to find the files that you create and be able to retrieve. I realize that your computer in this display will not give you the same appearance as what I'm giving you. So for this reason, I want to show you how you can switch it from view to view. Now when we go to the toolbars or the drop-down menu bar on the top, you're going to be able to see the item view. And when you left click on view, only one time that is, and you'll be able to see a listing of thumbnails, tiles, icons, list, and details. These are the different layouts of how you're going to experience the appearance of my computer. Now, remember one more thing on this. When you change the appearance, it will remember it that when you come back into my computer, it'll remember what you chose before. Now, on the tools bar, you'll see a very similar list here. And as I go to the different items, I'd like you to realize that this display right now is on tiles. Feel free to check around with the different displays that you have. Take notice that next to tiles there is a black dot. With the use of your mouse, you can make another choice and be able to choose icons. Icons gives a slightly different view, but it's more prioritized with a listing going across the screen. A list, changing it to list, will give you a solid list of what drives are on your computer and what kind of access that you have. Take notice it starts with local disk C, which is the lowest of the letters, and it goes right on up to Z. After that, it puts it in order of different folders that are also available or shortcuts. So there are different views. Now details I do use quite a bit, mainly because I want to see what I have created just recently instead of going down a long list and trying to find it. Now in this view with my computer, where we're looking at the different drives on our computer, it also has a listing of how much total space is on your computer and how much of it is free. As these figures are adjusted, it shows how much they are used. Now, one thing to move around on your computer, I'm back into the basic display of tiles again, and I'm going to double click on guest documents in my case. You're able to do this on any disk below this or anything that is on this list and get the same very similar results. But to keep it simple, I'm going to go into guest documents, and in guest documents I see that I have two folders, nothing on that directory except two folders. One is for music and the other one is for pictures. I'm going to show you the pictures because there's something different there that you don't see on others. But as I hold my mouse on top of that, take notice that it contains digital photos, images, and graphic files. It tells me the size of the files that are in there, and there is also more information about files, which are sample pictures .link, LNK. When we double click on that, we have something completely different than what we had before when we were with the root directory. And that is a film strip. A film strip will enable you to see each picture in a larger sense with icons of the pictures going across the bottom. If there is too many pictures in here, there will be a scroll bar down on the bottom that you can see or view any of the pictures you want. If you go to a full screen display, it'll also give you a capability of being able to set the timing, and it'll scroll automatically through the pictures that you have in any specific directory. And in our case, we're in sample pictures. And yes, the other views are still in place, but take notice that thumbnails will also present the pictures in a small form. If you click on any one of these pictures, it will open with a program that either displays it or will allow you to edit them. Now take notice that the tiles on down with the icons, list, and details, we lose it. However, there is a small icon added to this that will allow you to double click on this and open it in that program that is represented. So this is a view that we have without any kind of special scenes being displayed, but the icons are pretty much the same across the board. Now, one thing is that maybe you want to get out of this directory and go into another one, and it's very easy. Take notice that there is a folder with a green up arrow right there, and when you tap on that, it'll back up one directory. And when you press it enough times, you'll be able to go back to the root directory where we came from. Now, I did slip a different display here, but you do go back to the main page for whatever your computer has to display. At that point, you're able to double click on any drive you want to go to look for the specific files. Now, I'd like to remind you that when you go on on any drive on here, you do not do this with a directory, but you do it with a specific directory, either network or local. As I've said before, local drives are something that are directly connected to your computer, whereas everything on your network has a conduit on it and is not on your computer. So we're going to go to Properties, and when we go to Properties, this time we're going to go to Disk Cleanup. Disk Cleanup is one of the things that you should be doing on a regular basis according to how much you use your computer. If you're on the web a lot, you're going to get an accumulation of a lot of temporary files much more often than when you're doing developments like I'm doing, making this video. I'd like to remind you that if you don't do any maintenance to your hard drive, you're going to have an experience of it possibly slowing down. And then you're wondering what's wrong with your computer, and it's only because it's completely cluttered with things that you don't need on there. So a left click on this button here, Disk Cleanup, will give you take a few seconds or even a minute or two to calculate how much old files you have on there or temporary files. And these are, every one of these files are things that can be removed from your computer very safely. It will not interfere with any operations on any programs, whatever you have installed on there. So when you remove these temporary files, they can be files that are coming from the web or files that you have deleted, or it could be automatic files from installation of programs. There's a whole list of things that would be able to establish what is able to be removed. And when you are getting the list, you'll take notice that on mine I have quite a list, and it will show me exactly what can be deleted before I activate it. As I go on the tabs across the top, there is something there that has more options. And this is one thing that I really did not get into too much, but when Windows components, Windows is very powerful, and most people don't use everything that they have with Windows. So there are different components that you do not need. These components are files and utilities that are stored on your computer. If you're not using them, you can always free up extra disk space by removing them. Now, in the center section of this window, there is an item called Installed Programs. This refers to every program that you have on your computer, and very easily, just as it is with children growing up and using certain game programs, these games might be juvenile very quickly, and they will want something for their age group. And this is where we get an accumulation of different programs that are no longer usable. Also, even for yourself, you go from one program, you find something a little bit better, a little bit easier to use, and is able to give you better satisfaction. And older programs remain on your computer. Well, many of these programs can be removed to free up disk space, and you still have either the downloaded files or you have disk with these files stored on them, and be able to reinstall these programs whenever you want. So to go into disk cleanup with installed programs, you'll get rid of the programs that you're not using at the time. So you might use that for consideration. Finally, we have what is called System Restore. And what we're doing with System Restore, your computer has the capabilities of having restoration points automatically recorded when certain programs are being installed. However, you're able to make a restoration point if your computer is running at the best speed and at the best of your satisfaction. And it would be a good time to make a restoration point of your own. And when things start going wrong, you can return your computer to the same place as when it was running that way. The only problem we run into is if you download a virus and it infects your computer, a restoration point will not get rid of the virus. The only way to get rid of a virus is to actually reformat the hard drive, get rid of everything and start over, reinstall Windows and all the programs that you are running. So that is a very interesting point to realize. But as far as a lot of junk files and everything else that interfere with your computer and cause it to slow down, you can move it back to a restoration point and be able to recover your computer. That'll resolve many problems. Now we're going back to the disk cleanup section again. And once we get there, we're going to realize how much space can be deleted from your drive by this number on the top. And it's in the sentence where it says you can use disk cleanup to free up to whatever amount of room on your computer of the disk space on drive C. Now, this is a survey that it takes, and this figure is real time. Now, take notice on this selection in the center, you realize exactly how they came up with that figure. Take notice on the far left, within the circle, there are check boxes that are made that they suggest that they should be removed. And when you do this, it will free up extra disk space. However, for very obvious reasons, for example, downloaded program files, you might want to keep them so you can deselect that box. In other words, a checkbox is something you turn on and off. Now, when you turn them on and off, this figure right here, at this time it is the same as the one on the top. However, it will decrease when you deselect any of those checkboxes. But you do have that option. Once you have satisfaction. You might even want to be curious enough to view the files that are contained. At that time, you're just going into a lot of files that you have decided to remove earlier, but you have never cleaned out the recycle bin, and also temporary internet files. If they are needed, they will be rewritten. So you really don't have to worry too much about getting into seeing the details unless you really are curious to see it. Once you have made all of your decisions, press the OK button on the bottom, but then right next to it, if you really don't want to go through with this, there's the cancel button. In the classroom, I will use the cancel button because I want to hold on to these figures for the number of classes that I am teaching so that everybody can see what it does. And but you, on your computer, you will say OK, and it'll wipe out all this clutter that is on your drive, and it's nothing that will ever interfere with the operation of your computer except free up space and allow it to work better. So when you do press OK, and you're going to be deleting these files, you're going to get a confirmation box. Are you sure you want to perform these actions? And this is the last chance to back out. Once you say yes, it will be done. So with this in mind, I want you to realize that there is certain maintenance that should be done to your hard drive to get the best use out of it. It'll last a long time if you keep up with this. There is an example with my drive at home. I got a very strange message when I turned on my machine that my C drive is imminent to crash, and that I need to back up my files before it happens. And with this, I called the manufacturer, and they honored the warranty, and they are in the process of replacing that drive. And but it was very hard for me to understand why I got that message, because this machine has been properly maintained. I have gone through all these procedures that I have described to you, and it is a very fast machine. It is very clean. There is no clutter on it. I use very little space on the drive, but still something happened with it that it is not quite working properly. It could have been from when I first got the machine that there was a problem that could not be cleared on it. And from that point on, it only got worse until I got that message. But this is an unusual case. If you do your part, the machine will do its part. There is an old saying concerning the computers: garbage in and garbage out. Well, at times, with all these temporary files in there getting in your way, you're going to have a lot of garbage in there getting in your way. And it's good to keep it good and clear and get rid of them as you use your computer. When and how often, that is entirely up to you. As a new user, if you are a new user, you're not going to be using your machine too much. You're not acclimated to a lifestyle using your machine very often. When it comes to word processing or spreadsheets or drawings or desktop publishing, not everybody is getting into a whole lot of work on their computer. Just like I'm doing these movies, I'm making the use of the computer and its capabilities. And not everybody is doing this. However, it means that I have to clean up my disk more often than others. And this means that in order for me to get the most out of my hard drive, I will keep it as clean as possible so it'll give me good service and be of good speed. Well, I do want to thank you for your listening to me on this, and this is the completion of this study of working with the hard drive, maintenance of it, and being able to take care of your machine properly, and not getting too frustrated when things go wrong. When things do go wrong, be sure to have a backup support somewhere. That it might be a local repair, it might be some friends, and also in my case, I have many people that are graduates from my class that have given me a call that they need some help. Good backup, source of backup is necessary. I even look for a source of backup for myself, colleagues who are also in the field, who is able to point out something that maybe I'm overlooking. I do want to thank you for watching this segment. I hope you got a lot of good tips out of it, and it is something that I try to cover in my classes. And I am teaching 12 different classes, and with 10 classes I am giving out free computers to the ones that need one, and it'll give you a good step in the right direction even if you get a brand new machine with Windows 7 or Windows 8. Everything that we learn on this is very applicable for those newer systems. So I am very happy to present this to you. This is Paul Jones, and I invite you that if you come in the Harrisburg area to come to the classes at the First Church of the Brethren on 219 South Hummel Street, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.